Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. We're going to be focusing on fundamental shoulder strength for pole dancers today, which means that we basically need to work every type of range of movement that's common for pole dancers, but also that our shoulders need to do to stay nice and healthy and strong. Now, to get strength in our shoulders, we need to make sure that we're adding load to the exercise, and then we're also gradually increasing the load and reps, sets, and anything else to try and make that harder. So essentially we're doing gradual progression of that exercise to ensure that our muscles adapt, get bigger and get stronger. If we do the same thing over and over again, we're unlikely to get those adaptations. The main areas that we need to focus on today is overhead strength, so bringing the arms up over the head, rotational strength, pushing and pulling, and also some other random movements thrown in there. Today I am going to be using a couple of different sets of weights and also one long resistance band for an exercise as well. Some of the exercises where we are using the weights can be adapted to use resistance bands, but having a set of weights is going to be the easiest way to complete all of them. Okay, so grab the equipment that you need and let's get started. Okay, so for our first exercise, I'm going to get you to grab a set of weights. You can do this set with a resistance band if you want. You're just going to get a long resistance band, put it underneath your feet, and you can do the same arm movements that we're going to do. So we're going to stand with our feet around hip or shoulder width apart. We're going to drop down very slightly into a tiny squat and then hinge forward so that our body is facing down towards the floor. We're going to just let our arms go straight out in front. We're going to bend the elbows, keeping them really tucked in, and then as we get to the top, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and then release the arms back down, okay? So let's go for our first set. We're going to lift, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. We're going to go straight into our W position lifts, okay? It's going to bring the arms out in front at 90-ish degree bend. We're then going to open out the elbows, lifting the arms up to the ceiling, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then release back down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. And relax out for a second, take a nice couple of deep breaths just to get your energy back. And what I want you to think about with this exercise, kind of already cued it a little bit at the beginning, but as you lift up to the top, like so right up towards the ceiling, think about squeezing the kind of lower parts of your shoulder blades together. And this will really get the muscles in between your shoulder blades switched on and activating, get them nice and strong, okay? So we're gonna go for another set. If you ever need any more rest between our exercises, please just pause the video, give yourself the little bit of rest that you need, and then you can press play and join in again. Okay, so let's get ourselves set up. Bend the knees, hinge forward, arms straight out in front, let's go for it. Lifting up, bending the arms first. 1, 2, 3, 4, really think about that squeeze at the top. 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. 10, we move straight into our W's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, 10. Relax out. Take some time to take some nice deep breaths here. Just help yourself recover in between sets. Okay, remember that if you are coming out of your exercise and being like, oh, I've got to take a nice deep breath, then it probably means you're not breathing consistently throughout your exercise. Okay, so make sure that as you're doing the reps, I'm counting you through, so you don't need to think too much about it and really focus on that breath in and out. Okay, so let's do our final set of these exercises. Feet in position, bend the knees, hinge forward. We're going to start with our row position, so just pulling the arms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10, W position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10, relax down and give yourself a little shake out. Okay, for the next set of exercises, I want you to come into a kneeling position. The reason for this is I want you to squeeze your glutes and thrust your hips forward slightly. Okay, and sometimes this is just a little bit easier in kneeling. If you want to be in standing, then just come down into a quarter squat to do these exercises. Okay, so the first set we're gonna do, you're gonna have your arms out in front at around 90 degrees. It really doesn't matter if it's not exact, it's just to give you something to sort of aim for. Okay, so elbows by your sides, arms out in front. We're then gonna lift the elbows up to the ceiling and then rotate the fists up to the ceiling. Rotate back down and then bring the elbows back in. Okay, so let's go from one together. We're gonna lift up to the ceiling, then the fists are gonna come up, drop it back down and then come back through. So that's one, let's keep going. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're going to go for the last one. That's 10. Bring it back down. We're going to go straight into our next exercise. So knuckles facing forward so you can see your fingertips. We're going to rotate the arms out and then we're going to push all the way up overhead, lifting the shoulders up to the ears like we would push for a handstand or for arms only. Then we're going to drop back down and then rotate back in. Okay, so again, let's start from 1. We're going to rotate out and push up. That's 1. Bring it back in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10, and bring it all the way back in. Just give yourself a little shake out or have a little breather. Nice deep breath. Okay, and remember, if you ever need longer, have a little break more, that's fine. Just pause the video. Okay, and just a quick before we get going again, if you're feeling this in your forearms as well, that is absolutely fine. Okay, we cannot take our forearms out of the equation and we need them to be nice and strong as well for pole, so it's all good stuff. Okay, so let's go again, starting with the arms out in front. We're going to go elbows to ceiling, rotate, that's 1, bring it back down and drop back through. Keep going. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and that's 10, and then bring your arms in front. We're going to rotate out and push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one now, pushing all the way up, coming down and rotating back in, and just relax out. Pop the weights down for a second if you need to, give your arms a little shake out and just let them rest for a second. Make sure you're taking some nice deep breaths throughout this rest period. Okay, and while I just talk at you a little bit. So just to kind of clarify the reasons why I want you to really push up at the top. So when you're doing your shoulder press, lifting the shoulders up towards the ceiling and coming back down. Okay, that's because when we do arms only stuff or handstand stuff, that bottom arm or both arms over your head really need to push up and through. That's what helps us keep our balance. That's what helps us stay nice and stable in those kind of positions. Okay, so it is really important to get a very strong push. Okay, obviously when you're upside down, all of your weight is in your shoulders. This is just a way to help gradually increase your strength. Obviously you can start getting harder weights, but it's also really good to strengthen directly for those moves. So practice on the pole, practice your handstands as well. Think about that push, okay? So let's go for our last set. Making sure we're still keeping that butt nice and squeezed, arms out in front, and let's go for it. We're gonna lift and rotate. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one of this exercise, 10, bring it back down, bring the arms up, let's go, rotate out and push up, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keep the butt squeezed, 8, 9, last one, push it up, back down, bring it all the way through, and then you can relax out from there. Give yourself a little shake and take some nice deep breaths. Okay, for this next exercise, we are going to start in that same position, so either kneeling, squeezing the bum, or if your knees don't like this very much, then standing up, a little bit of a bend in the knees so that you can get that glute squeeze, okay? As we know from the shoulder stability class on Monday, it's really good to get your glutes engaged for your shoulder exercises. This is going to help increase your stability and strength through the shoulder. So we're going to grab our weights. We're going to do some delt raises, okay? So we're going to have the arms nice and straight. We're going to lift the arms up out in front. We're just going to go to about 90 degrees, so halfway up, and then drop back down, okay? So let's get ready and go for it. Lift, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, hold at the top, that's 10. We're going to go from here to overhead, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Okay, relax the arms down. We're gonna just have a little breather between this and the next variation. Okay, so this time we're gonna come out to the side and do up to halfway, and then from halfway up to the top again. Okay, so squeeze your glutes, arms nice and straight, and let's go for it. We're gonna lift up out to the side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, hold at the top, that's 10. We're gonna go overhead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and that's 10. Okay, relax down. Drop your weights down for a second just so you can give your hands and arms a little bit of a break. Take some nice deep breaths, okay? So as you can probably tell with this one, it's a little bit harder. Our levers are nice and long, so it is creating extra load than if we would do the bent arm positions, okay? So if you need a lighter weight, grab a lighter weight, that's fine. You can do this exercise with bands underneath your knees or your feet if you're in standing, and do the same movements pulling on that band. Okay, so just do what feels comfortable for you. We are going to do 3 full sets of this exercise, so you do want to make sure that you can get through them. Even if that means halfway through you change down to a lighter weight, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's go for another set. Okay, this time we're not going to have a break between the 2 variations, so just remember that you can pause the video at any point if you need an extra rest. Okay, so arms nice and straight. We're going to lift up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, hold at the top, and let's go overhead for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. We're going to bring the arms down by your sides, and then we're going to lift up to the side, just halfway for now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, hold it at the top, and we're going to go all the way overhead for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Okay, relax down, just drop the weights out, give yourself a little shake. Nice deep breaths, just to get your energy back. So hopefully you're starting to feel it burn a little bit now. Remember, if you're feeling it in your forearms, that's completely fine. We can't remove your forearms from the equation, so it's fine, okay? So just a quick little chat with you whilst we're having a rest. So as you already know, because I talked about it in the last exercise, when we go up overhead, we really want to try and utilize that elevation of the shoulder. So even in this exercise, as my arms go through those kind of overhead positions, my arms feel really light now, I'm lifting my shoulders up towards my ears, okay? This is directly transferable to the stuff that we do on the pole, okay? So it is important to go through that full range of movement, which by the way is another way to progress exercises, which we'll talk about a little bit more in the next exercise, okay? So as we go up, lift the shoulders, bring them up to your ears, and then you can sort of drop them back down as you come back through, okay? And that's just gonna help get through all of those little kind of movements that we need strong for pole, okay? So are you ready for the final set? Remember, if you need more time, that's absolutely fine. If you need to grab a lighter weight, that's fine as well. So just do what you need to do. Okay, let's bash it out. So arms nice and straight, lifted in front. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Lasting one now, holding at the top, and we're going to go overhead. 1, 2. Remember to get that elevation. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Bring your arms all the way down. Shake it out if you need to. Let's go halfway out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Holding at the top. 10. And overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, keep it going, I know it's hard. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Woo! Okay, come out, give yourself a little shake. Well done, that was really good. Okay, so our next set of exercises is going to be a couple of different variations on press-ups. So before we go into that, I just wanted to quickly talk to you about how you can progress or regress these for you personally. Okay, so I'm going to be using a stack of yoga blocks underneath my hands. Okay, if you want to make this easier, then you're just going to drop down as low as you feel comfortable, and because you're going to be inclined from your head higher than your feet, this is going to be an easier position for you. However, we can also use the yoga blocks to make this harder by dropping down past the yoga blocks, which means we're going to get more range of movement through the shoulders, and you can still tap your nose on the floor. Okay, so you're going to be having that big range of movement, which is going to make it harder to press up out of the position. Okay, so that's how we can use yoga blocks to make them easier and harder. If you want to increase this further, you can even use 2 chairs, okay? That means you're going to be able to either drop down further, making it harder, or you can be up, inclined even higher with your head, which is going to make it easier. Okay, the second way that we're going to talk about progressing or regressing this is our body position. So you can go into a full plank, okay, our basic press-up position. You can go to a half plank, you can go to a box position. These are just getting easier and easier as we kind of get smaller and smaller. Okay, the other way you can make this even harder is by having something underneath your feet. This is going to lift your feet up, putting more weight into your shoulders, which in turn is going to make it even harder. Okay, so a few things for you to consider there. So go away, get yourself set up, do whatever you feel you would like to do, remembering that you can make them easier as we go through sets. You don't have to commit to whatever setup you're starting with. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so I'm going with a stack of yoga blocks underneath my hands. I'm going for the easier version. I'm also going to go for a half plank. I am not very good at press-ups, so that's where I'm going. All right, but just remember that you don't have to do the same as me. Just do whatever setup you need. So Gonna bring yourself in position, and we're gonna just do a basic press up position. So the arms are gonna go out to the side, obviously underneath your shoulders, and then your elbows are just gonna point diagonally out, so not completely out to the side and not completely tucked in. Okay, so let's get ready. We're gonna start with 8 reps. So we're gonna drop down as low as you feel comfortable, and then push up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, 8. Come out, give yourself a little shake out, take a nice couple of deep breaths. So while we're doing our press ups, I want you to really think about, as you're dropping down towards the floor, squeezing your shoulder blades together, so you're getting a nice squeeze, okay? And then as you push up, letting your shoulder blades lift up naturally how they want to, and then I want you to just do a slight push away right at the top. Okay, so you're getting a little bit of protraction with the shoulders. This is just going to ensure that we're going through a full range of movement with those kind of shoulder blade movements, okay? Doesn't matter if you're not going really low yet or if you can't quite touch the floor. Just do what feels comfortable for you. Make sure it's challenging you. Remember that to get those adaptations, we have to challenge our muscles. Okay, so let's go for another set. Bring yourself in your position. And we're going to do another 8. So dropping down and then push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, 8. Okay, come away, shake it out, take some nice deep breaths, okay? And remember that if you do need more kind of recovery time in between, just pause the video and do what you need to do, but otherwise you're just going to take another couple of seconds here just to rest. Whew, breathing through it, okay? And let's go for our 3rd set. So set yourself up, making sure that you breathe nice and consistently throughout, and let's go for it. Dropping down and pushing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, and that's 8. Bring it out and shake it out. Well done, everyone. So for the next variation of press ups that we're going to do today, we're going to go into a downward dog position. So as you probably know, if you've done a downward dog before, this brings your arms up into this overhead position. Okay, and as we know, for pole, we do a lot of things with our arms up overhead. So it is really important that we can get that kind of lower down and that push up through. Okay, so again, lots of different ways to make this easier or harder. We are going to use the yoga blocks again, and they're going to do the same kind of principle that we talked about for the last variation. So either lifting you up, meaning that you don't need to go as low, making it easier, or having a gap between your yoga blocks so that you can drop down in between your yoga blocks, get a bigger range of movement, and then press up through, okay? And then with the legs, you can either have them completely straight or you can have a little bit of a bend in them, okay? So let me just quickly demonstrate first one kind of movement. So bring yourself into a downward dog position, and then you're going to push your chest forward and just open out your shoulders to a point where you feel comfortable. It doesn't need to be all the way through. You can just start sort of halfway between that movement. Okay, and then your legs can either be straight or they can be bent. Okay, so what I recommend is having a little tester of this position that you want to go in. Figure that out first, and then we can go for our first set. Okay, so pause the video if you need to, otherwise let's go for it. So hands on your yoga blocks, going up on your toes. If you can, bring your heels down. If not, then you can just bend your knees slightly and go up on your toes. Again, we can just work to increase that range of movement as we get better at this exercise. Okay, and then we're going to just drop the head down, letting the arms come out towards the sides, and then push up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, and that's 8. Come out of it, give it a little shake out. Okay, so I just want to kind of reassure you all that I really don't care how this looks. Okay, it is just a case of getting used to it. Like eventually you want to be able to do like a full downward dog position and then lower all the way down and push back up. But as you can see, that isn't where mine is at. Okay, that's something that I'm going to work on progressing to, and that's what you should all kind of have in mind, is that it's an aim to progress it. not to make it look perfect right away. And that goes for pretty much every exercise, okay? So let's go again for our next set. Pause the video if you need more rest. So set yourself up, get yourself into your comfortable position, and we're gonna drop the head down, bending the arms and push back through. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's 8. Bring it back down. Just got one more set to go. Okay, so just give yourself the recovery time that you need. Taking some nice deep breaths. And shake it out as you need to as well. After this final set, we are going to do some opposition exercises. So if you're feeling a little bit kind of front tight, don't panic. We are going to open yourself back up and get our back nice and strong as well. Okay, so pause if you need more time. Otherwise, let's do our final set of 8. Set yourself up, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's 8. Well done, everyone. Shake it out. For the next exercise, you're going to grab yourself a couple of light weights. You're going to bring yourself into a face down position. Okay, and you're going to hold the weights in your hand, bringing your arms out straight by your sides, and we're going to lift the chest up, so going into like an active cobra type position. We're going to lift, we're then going to lift the arms up to the ceiling, squeeze the shoulder blades together, drop the arms back down, and then lower the chest back down. Okay, so get yourself set up, let's go for it. We're going to go lift, lift, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, keep it going, 9, last one, 10. Let the weights drop down, just bring your arms out in front just so you can rest for a second. Okay, if you want to push back and just open out a little bit, then just do what you need to do to feel nice and comfortable. Okay, so when we're doing this exercise, we're trying to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. So even as we lift up into that cobra position, I want you to think about shoulders back and down, and as you lift up the arms into that extension position, really important by the way for things like iguanas, okay? We're then going to squeeze the kind of lower part of those shoulder blades together, as I said in the first exercise, just to get those kind of shoulder blade muscles nice and strong, and then lifting those arms up as high as you can. So this is a good exercise for increasing the range of movement in extension as well. So that's a really good kind of mixture of stuff you're getting from this. So let's go for another set. Grab your weights, drop the chest, we're going to lift, squeeze, and then lift the arms. Drop down and drop down, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10, and relax out. Give yourself a little shake out, drop back into sort of a open child pose position if you need to, just to get the back open, make yourself feel normal again. Okay, just chill out here for a second, take some nice deep breaths, wait for the arms to feel normal again. Okay, and just a quick side note before we go for the final exercise, maybe should have said it a bit earlier, but you can do this with a resistance band as well. So just literally get the resistance band underneath your pelvis, and you can do the same pull up as we are doing with the weights, but with that resistance band instead, okay? So let's go for our final set. Drop in the chest, we're gonna go lift, lift, drop, drop. Keep it going, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and that's 10. Well done. Again, just doing a little bit of a cat-cow, child's pose type, stretching out. All right, and then let's go to the next exercise. Okay, so for our final exercise for today, we're going to do another little bit of back strengthening just to oppose some of the front kind of heavy exercises that we've done today. So I've got a heavy resistance band here, and well, I've just wrapped it around my radiator, which I'm not 100% sure is safe, but there we go. I've done it a few times and nothing bad has happened. However, I recommend that you either wrap it around a pole or trap it in a door frame or around like a bed or something that's like nice and sturdy, so it isn't going to flick off and hit you, and also you're not going to pull anything off the wall. Okay, so we want a nice heavy band for this, and we're going to go in our kneeling position so that we get that nice kind of thrust forward, get that glute squeeze. However, if you've got a higher point, then you can stand up and again do that kind of quarter squat position. Okay, this is one of my favorite exercises, not because it's fun or interesting, as you'll see in a second, but because it's really good at focusing on the kind of squeeze strength that we need between the shoulder blades. And it's a really great exercise for just strengthening the upper and mid back generally. Okay, so again, heavy band, having that band nice and straight, having my arms nice and straight. You're just going to kind of step away until you've got a nice good squeeze already on the band before you start the exercise. This is going to ensure that you've got kind of maximum pull. So we're going to first squeeze the shoulder blades together, which may not feel like much, but it's actually a really important part of this exercise. So I'm going to squeeze. So see how there's not a huge movement? My arms aren't moving as such, they're not bending anyway, and I'm squeezing together with just the shoulder blades. So we're going to squeeze the glutes, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, we're then going to pull the elbows back, we're then going to keep that squeeze between the shoulder blades, let the arms come forward, then release the shoulder blades at the end. Okay, so we're going through 4 movements. All right, so let's go from 1 all together. We're going to squeeze, we're going to bend the arms, we're going to release, we're going to release. That's 1. Let's keep going. Squeeze, pull, release, release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, keep the butt squeezed, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax out for a second. Okay, so obviously you probably recognize this as a row. You can use this as like your row machine if you've got one, or if you go to the gym when you're allowed to go to the gym. Okay, so it's obviously the same principle, but sometimes when we're using the row machines, we've got really heavy weight, you tend to kind of lose the form a little bit. So, you know, if you ever do take this to the gym, or if you've got a row machine at home or whatever, just really focus on that shoulder positioning because it's super important, okay? And that'll mean that you get much more from the exercise. So let's go for another set. Squeezing the glutes, arms in front, squeeze, pull, and release, and release. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and that's 10. Shake it out. Okay, so last thing with this one is I don't want you to lift your shoulders up. So we kind of talked about it with the kind of active extension exercise we did a second ago, but yeah, just trying to keep the shoulders down so the squeeze is really through that kind of lower part of the shoulder blades. Okay, and just kind of really be aware of that. So just think about pulling them down, then doing the exercise, okay, rather than just letting the body do what it wants. But try and really make it, make that awareness nice and strong, okay? So let's do our last set, remembering if you need more rest, then pause the video, okay? Arms straight, we're gonna squeeze and pull, release and release. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and that's 10. All right, shake it out, well done. Okay everyone, that is all of our exercises for today. I hope you found the content useful and interesting and that your shoulders are going to ache a little bit tomorrow from the workout. I just wanted to quickly remind you that if you are going to be taking any of this information away with you, to also take the information away of adaptation. So remembering that you need to progress your exercises regularly, so when they start to become a bit easier, make them harder again. So you're getting that challenge. So you're making your muscles adapt to the new situation at hand, which is going to be either heavier weights, larger range of movement, etc. Okay, just making it harder in some capacity. Okay, this means that your muscles will get bigger and stronger. Okay, if you have enjoyed all of this content, or if you've enjoyed how I teach, then please go and check out my website, www.poledancing-therapist.com. I have various memberships available with lots of tutorials, not just on this off the pole stuff, but also getting yourself on the pole in a nice, safe way. Loads of tutorials on pole dance and lots of pole dance classes as well. So go and check that out. Otherwise, but thank you for coming to watch today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.